Breaking news out of Aransas Pass as we come to air at this hour, where hundreds of residents are being evacuated from their homes.
The reason: a massive wildfire burning dangerously close to homes near Lamont and Maddox Avenue. Officials on the scene telling us tonight that the fire has burned through 75 acres and at this hour is at 50% containment. Now, firefighters from across South Texas called in to battle what they are calling the Myrtle Fire. And tonight we have team coverage from the scene with our Michael Gibson and Bill Churchwell, both joining us live from that area. And we want to get started here with Bill Churchwell, who's been chasing the flames with firefighters all afternoon. Bill?
Well, I tell you what, I'm here on West Maddox, one of the many residential streets that has been blocked right now. And I'm going to put my ear out because I'm getting some feedback, but I want to let you know we're here along West Maddox Street, one of the many residential streets that has been blocked at this point. For the safety of residents, we are aware of some evacuations that have taken place earlier in this afternoon. This is also where a command center has been set up right now. You can see officials. They have been watching drone video over the blaze to see where that fire has been moving, but we have seen many emergency crews throughout the afternoon all up and down this street and from all over the area. We actually saw firefighters from Corpus Christi. They brought their ambulance out as well. And joining me now, this is Stephanie Diaz. And Stephanie, tell us, what is the latest with the situation?
So as of right now, we have experienced about 75 acres burned. We have about 50% of it contained, and we have state services, federal services, crews from about 6 different counties, as well as outside of the state. We have federal resources that have come in to help fight this wildland fire, and we're utilizing all of our TDM resources and bringing everyone in to help us contain this fire.
Earlier in the afternoon, we saw that thick black smoke. We're not seeing it as much right now. That's a good sign, right?
That is a very good sign. What we're doing is we've brought Texas Forestry Service in, and they have 3 smaller planes and 2 really large planes dropping some fire retardant down into the onto the brush, and that's helping contain the smoke and bring in the fire down itself.
And it was really quite the sight to see those planes because they were traveling pretty low to the ground.
Correct, and they're huge. They're really huge planes, so we're definitely not used to seeing that side over this community.
Thank you so much for that update. Reporting live tonight, I'm Bill Churchwell. Now back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you so much for those updates tonight. And as we continue our team coverage, we do want to send it over to our Michael Gibson, who has spoken to some residents who did have to evacuate from their homes.
Yeah, he joins us live from the Civic Center, where those needing and seeking shelter have been asked to go this evening. Michael, what can you tell us?
Well, we're here in the room where they're all staying, and I tell you, air conditioning is much better than all the other alternatives that could have been out there. This group of folks have been either evacuated from an RV park, perhaps a mobile home park, or they live close or near that area of town where that fire began, which is basically in the center of town, just a little bit north of where most people live here. And we've got Chris Clausen. She's acting surprised, but we talked to her a little bit earlier. Yeah. Again, what do you think about this fire? You've had to go through it a couple of times now.
Yes, it's I'm anxious, but been through it a couple times, and they've always contained it before it got to my home. So I'm hoping that will be the same this time.
And it looks like the city of Aransas Pass has really stepped up and treated you guys right. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. It's nice and cool here. It's better than sitting in the car under a shade tree.
Plenty of food, plenty of drink.
Mm-hmm. A lot of food, snacks and stuff, and drinks. And keeping us comfortable in nice, comfortable chairs.
And how do you think your home is going to turn out after all of this? Have you heard anything yet?
I haven't really heard, but I'm optimistic that we won't have any damage or any problems with the fire.
Well, that's a very optimistic Chris Clausen. Thank you very much, one of the evacuees here. We also have Kaylin Paxson. Kaylin's with the city of Aransas Pass, and you're in charge of the center and everything. So how many people have y'all seen? Not everyone who was evacuated obviously came here, but you sent a good number of folks.
Certainly. What we did was we sent out the message that if you were in need of shelter, air conditioning, if you didn't have an alternative place, to please congregate here at the Civic Center. So we saw about 14 people, about 6 different families did take advantage of that. And we got the call about 2:30, and within 30 minutes, the first folks had started to arrive.
How does it make you feel to be able to be part of this?
Wonderful. We love this community, and anything that we can do to help make them feel safe and comfortable, we are more than ready. And you know what? The community has really stepped up. We've had a number of folks come by, organizations come by, drop off food, drop off water, and the number one question is, are y'all okay? Can we do anything to help? And because everyone's helping, I think everyone's pretty comfortable.
And how late will you keep this open, even overnight?
We're prepared to leave this open as late as possible and as long as possible. We're still on standby to see if conditions will progress through the evening and possibly into tomorrow, but we're prepared either way.
All right, thank you very much. Kaylin Paxson with the city of Aransas Pass. That's what we've got here. We've got these evacuees in air conditioning. They've got plenty of food and drink, and they seem to be in very good spirits considering what's going on not too far from where we're at right now. Back to the studios.
All right, Michael, thank you so much. Glad to hear that the folks there who had to evacuate their homes are comfortable and safe in the AC, and that the community of Aransas Pass is coming together and putting their support over them. Now, as fire crews do battle that fire, they are also fighting not only the wind, but the drought conditions that continue across the area.
Let's go ahead and turn to Chief Meteorologist Alan Holt now. And Alan, it doesn't take much for a fire to start or to get quickly out of control.
Yeah, when the brush is dry, it's just fuel for said fire. Thankfully today, the wind has not been as strong as it often is here. We've only had gusts up to around 20 miles per hour. We've got the Lex cam pointed in the direction of the fire. When I came into work today, a little before 2 o'clock, this right in here was just a huge tower of smoke. There are little puffs of smoke that I've seen just within the last, 2 or 3 minutes, but it's way better looking in terms of the smoke production than it was some 2 or 3 hours ago. Wind speeds 10 to 15 miles per hour in the Port Aransas, Rockport region. Again, that fire out in Aransas County. So the wind pushing inland, that's where the smoke plume would have been going as that fire was ongoing. The ground is dry. We've got moderate drought conditions where the fire is, so the brush is likely brown out there, and it can ignite in a hurry when you start having, wind plus fire. It's also somewhat dry, but I wouldn't say that today is not humid, so the humidity levels are manageable. And one last little tip here, a little bit of shower activity. There are some north of Refugio up into Goliad County, a little first sign of the rain chances beginning to increase. We'll touch on that as the 5 o'clock broadcast continues. Leslie.